I'm better off from my stone squirrel, okay, because I can control the space. If I'm on the bottom, what do I need to escape? Generally space or something to upset his balance. So having my arms in is infinitely better than having my arms out, right? If he goes to north-south and he's here, you know, with his arms either under my arms or over my arms, whatever. If my arms are out here, this is bad, okay? So anytime I recognize that he's going to north-south, right? I'm here, boom, oh, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, okay, well, if I'm in north-south, at least I have my arms in. I wanna be in here controlling, all right? This gives me a lot more space to do things, check? All right, so my first thing, if I can have an arm in here, all right, and Alfred's giving me a lot of space, but this still works. Now you're good, stay up so that they can hear me. If I can get this arm in here, all right, and even if it's just on one side, when I bump and I go elbow to knee, I've got a good position here, okay? As if he's trying to get his arm out, look what happens. What's he doing? He's pulling around. I'm just holding on with my hook on the back of his triceps and my shin in his biceps, and as he's trying to pull his arm out, he's pulling me back towards where I want to be. All right, now he's generally not going to just sit up and pull like that, but even if he's tight to me here, okay, if I have this here and he's trying to get this arm out, oh, look what's happening, okay? So now he's giving me an angle here to come around. Check. So my first one is just the prop wash. If I can keep both arms in, boom, I'm here, arms inside, all right, I bump. I get a knee in, pay attention to this grip here, right? I'm hooked over the back of the tricep, my shin's in the bicep. Now as he tries to, you know, get his arm out or do anything, he's making space. Now look, I can hook behind the leg, right? If you can't see, go ahead and move. I can hook behind the leg here, right? I can hook in front of the leg here. And if I'm gonna put my leg over his back, do I just want to leave it here? What do I want to do? I want to bring it all the way over and block his hip. Right? Now that's doing something for me. So when I come back in, I'm in a good position. But I got to block that hip. If I just leave that, remember this is the white belt. This is white belt 101. I just put this in your cross here, right? If I'm here and I put my leg here, I am not going to stop him from passing. Okay? Come back, so I have to understand that. Whereas, so same thing, passing, come back around from the guard. Okay, you got to understand from the guard and the re-guard position here, right? If he's trying to pass, if I can hook this leg, now it's much harder for him to pass, right? See, if he's trying to pass, he's got to deal with that hook first. Or if I make my hook here, he tries to pass, right? He doesn't just run right over. But if my foot's here, just over his back, it doesn't stop him at all. We've already seen that. Now, if I can bring my foot all the way over to the hip and he tries to pass, try to pass. See, my foot's blocking his hip. And I can come out and do re-guard and inverted guard and stuff like that. Does that make sense? So I need to make sure when I'm coming back around from the prop wash that I'm meeting my foot, my hook in or behind or blocking on that far hip. Does that make sense? But other than that, good position. I get here, I bump, I get a shin in. All right? Now he's not digging it so much. You know, he's got to deal with that. He's got this arm. Right? I put the pressure here and I work my way out. See, foot on the hip. I'm good to go. Look, I can even start attacking here, putting him in a bad position, working towards the back and re-guard, depending on how he defends and attacks. Okay? You want to see it? Or you good? Okay? Right, stone squirrel position, arms are inside. I bump, get my knee here. This is a solid hook. He tries to get his arm out, he's making space for me, he's helping bring me around. I make the hook here, I make the hook here, or if I can't do that, I bring the foot all the way over my hip. Okay, this allows me to bring this leg back through. Check. All right, let's do it. See how it's hip back and your space there? Remind me to get my knee in front of the arm maybe. You just stays really tight. You put a lot of weight, hips are back. All right, so what I can do is this is a U-boat. I'm going to trace my legs like a U. If I start doing it a bunch, you know it's coming. Right? But if I'm working, and I just kind of hit it. Okay, what am I doing? I've got the arm just like I did. I'm bringing my knee in here, right? Making either a hook if you sprawl back. Right? I can get my hook in here, I can get my hook in over here, or I can just work to take the back and drag. It doesn't get that arm out. Okay? The U-boat, the doing the legs like a U, just gives you the momentum to kind of spin around. I always want to try to get my knee in here, because if he's shutting it down really tight with this arm, then it leaves the other side open. See where I'm at? I spin, my knee's there, I make my hook. Now I'm in a good position, because in order to pass my hooks here, he's got to back out. If he tries to back out away from that, he's giving me space to come up into my guard. Okay, so I got to pay attention to where I can get my knee. If I can get my knee in front of the bicep, then that's good. But if he's staying too tight, right, can't get it in there, boom, come back the other way. Hook, grab, pull. Yeah. Now, he's going to usually have to give up his base and go somewhere. Like, guys, I'm not going to lie. This is a tight position for the guy on top. I've got to be able to transition from one thing to the next and use whatever space he gives me or that I can make. Does that make sense? Okay. So, just so you can feel the momentum, how it sets up. See how my hips are coming off the ground from my, okay? So practice that U. See, I'm kind of drawing a big U with my legs in the air. And as I get my hips up off the ground, I push here, make space. It's a lot of momentum, right? Even if I don't have the hook, even if I got it here, he's going to start driving back into me. Push, change your angle, okay? This is kind of a, if I can get my hook, then it's a solid way to get back in the guard. But otherwise, sometimes it becomes a little bit of a scramble, right? But it's still better than having him completely dominating from north-south, isolating my arms and having his way there. Check? Does that make sense? All right, so U-boat, tracing that U. Let's get on it. Okay. The torpedo is basically a single leg from the north-south. Okay, but I gotta switch myself from face up to face down. So again, using these hands helps a lot. All right, helps a lot. I'm gonna bump. Right, I'm gonna as I bump and make a little bit of space, I'm gonna hip heist here. Right, shoot this leg under and shoot this arm across. See how I'm changing my angle here? Now I come up to the single. If he's on line, I can dump him. If he's squared up, I shoot for the far back leg. Okay? Shoot right now, torpedo shoot for that single leg. So here. Okay. Boom. Hip heist. Punch this arm across at the same time. Okay. Grabbing this leg. Walking around. Picking it up. Again, if he's on line, I dump him. If he's squared up with the knees, other knee on the ground. All right, then I grab the knee in the leg, and I drop across. Check. Okay, so I'm here. I bump. Hip heist, punch at the same time. Okay, grab that leg. Fight around, walk. I'm using my hips to fight his arm, even if he's holding on to me here. Right, hold on to me. No, hold on to my hips. All right, he's holding on to my hips. But it's my hips versus his arm. Check. So, full speed. We're here, all right? I bump, hip heist, and punch. So we talked about having our arms in the right place. If my arms aren't in the right place, if he gets to here, okay, can I do any of the moves? Can I do any of the moves?
Really?
Yes, I can. Okay, look, I can still U-boat pushing on his hips. See, I make space with my arms pushing on his hips, but my space is horizontal, not vertical. Okay? If I'm here, again, I can push on the hips, right? And that gives me space to get this arm across and go for the single. Is it as easy as when I'm in my good arm position? No, it's much harder. It's a big, much harder fight. Okay? And then, with that in mind, if I do get stuck here and I don't have a good arm position, I have a fourth escape, and it's probably Efren's favorite, right? To come over the back and put a hook in. Okay? I'm going to give myself a cramp doing this, so I have to come down. Okay, if you're very flexible and you're smaller than your opponent, you can get both hooks in at the same time. Generally, against somebody your own size or different size, you're going to need to get one hook in first. Okay? So if he's here and he doesn't get a good arm position, now he's got to work his arms off the hips, so he's going to push down, right, using his legs and his arms. Now when he comes up and over, he's going to look for one foot especially. He's going to bring both feet over, but he's going to look for one foot especially. See how he's got that right hook in? And then once he starts to come over, now the left one comes in, and he's actually taking my back. Okay? Even if this doesn't work, again, what I don't like about this is that if I'm in a good position and I start pushing on his hips to do this, right, now if he knows if he's got a good game, he's starting to control, he's starting to set up bad stuff to me. But if I am here, I gotta get out of here, I can't wait. So push on the hips, boom, and I can work any of those others, or if I'm flexible and I've got a good angle on him, he comes over the back, boom, puts one hook in. Now, even if I defend one side, see, he's still half guard, working on taking the back. All right? So, if you're flexible and you can do that one, that's fine. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you against smaller guys, especially. If you've ever had neck problems, this isn't going to work for you. But you have to be aware that it can be done to you as well. So it's not the end of the world for this guy if you get both arms under and controlled, because he, by pushing on your hips, can make space and use the U-boat still works, and the torpedo still works, and we'll just call it the Efren, going over to the back and taking the back. Oh no, that's not, periscope up, call it periscope up, all right, where that you go over the back and you come up on his back. Okay? Make sense? All right, any questions on the